And we are back with another Monday preview, the final Monday preview of 2024. Guys, we have 3 games this week. St. Louis Blues with the Winter Classic. Then we play the Montreal Canadiens on Friday. And then we play the Tailspin Hot Mess New York Rangers on Sunday after. Break it down. So, like I said, for St. Louis, we play them New Year's Eve. It's the Winter Classic. We play them here at home at Wrigley Field. Should be a lot of chaos. Should be entertaining. Unsure if the game's actually going to be good or not. We don't know. St. Louis is 4-4-2 in their last 10 games. They will play Buffalo in St. Louis on Sunday. So it's not a complete back-to-back for either team. We played Dallas on Sunday, and then we'll play Buffalo, so we don't have back-to-backs. Their goaltending tandem is Jordan Binnington and Hofer. I'd imagine Binnington gets the net for the Winter Classic. They've already kind of displayed his new mask that he has for the Winter Classic with a lot of notable St. Louis athletes on it. So pretty sure, unless anything happens in that Buffalo game, Binnington is in net for the Winter Classic. For key players for the St. Louis Blues, you've got Kyrou, Saad, Buchnevich, Holloway, and Rob Thomas on forward. For defensemen, you've got Broberg, Falk, and Nick Leddy. Currently, the St. Louis Blues are 6th out of 8 in the Central. They're kind of in a similar position as the Seattle Kraken when it comes to the Pacific Division, but also very different. Seattle's not a bad team, but the top of the Pacific is such a lockout that they really can't advance. St. Louis, in turn, the top of the Central is also pretty much a lockout, and you'd have to make significant jumps, but also you're not going to fall to the complete bottom because that is a constant battle between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Nashville Predators. So they're just kind of sitting in the middle of the Central. I imagine this is where they continue to be for, if not most, then at least for the foreseeable future regarding the Central Division. Like I said, they're not horrible. They're not in a complete rebuild, but they're definitely, not, I wouldn't consider them in great, obvious playoff contention either. For injured reserve, Nick Leddy, out with a lower body, is projected to be back by January 7th. So probably won't see him at the Winter Classic, projected to come back the week after. And then you've got Torrey Krug. That was announced prior to the beginning of the season started that he is out with an ankle injury and is projected to be back by the beginning of next season. We don't know. For pipeline for the St. Louis Blues, they do have a couple of guys coming up. Dalibor Dvorsky being the main one. He's playing with their AHL affiliate, the Springfield Thunderbirds. You've got Zach Dean, you've got Juracek, and you've got Jimmy Snuggerud, who's playing at the University of Minnesota right now. That is all for the St. Louis Blues. Should be a fun day with the Winter Classic. After that, we've got the Montreal Canadiens, Friday, January 3rd. I will not be going because I will be back at Wrigley watching probably too much college hockey. But there is another game just right down the street. Friday, January 3rd, Montreal currently is 6-4-0 in their last 10. They do not have a back-to-back. Both the Chicago Blackhawks and the Montreal Canadiens play on the 31st and then again on the 3rd. So they do have a couple of days in between. Goaltending tandem is a little interesting. Montembeault has been their number one right now. They used to have Promo, but he was put on waivers today. They had a new goaltender, Dobbs, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, came up, shut out the Florida Panthers for his first game. That was a great sight to watch. So I imagine that's the tandem going into the Montreal game. Whether we get Montembeault or Dobbs in net, we don't know quite yet. For notable players for the Montreal Canadiens on forwards, we've got Cole Caulfield, you've got Kirby Dach, you've got Patrick Laine, you've got Nick Suzuki, you've got Brendan Gallagher. For defensemen, you have Lane Hudson. Pipeline, a couple of guys coming up. You got Harvey Pinard. You got David Reinbacher, who's currently on injured reserve, had a nasty knee collision injury right before the season started and basically took him out. He needed knee surgery. The recovery was about 5 to 6 months. So he's out for the season, projected, fingers crossed, to be all good to go at the start of next season. You've got Ivan Demidov, Michael Haig, and Luke Mittelstadt, the younger brother of Casey Mittelstadt, in Montreal's pipeline. It should be interesting. This is definitely a game where the Blackhawks have the potential to win, which means I don't know what's going to happen because as of late, the ones that we should be winning, we're not winning. And the ones we have no hope in winning, we are winning. So who's to say? And then finally, to round out the week, we face the New York Rangers on that Sunday. Rangers in their last 10 are 3-7-0. They do have a back-to-back. They play Washington in Washington the night before, and then they come to Chicago, which we do not have a back-to-back, so that'll be an advantage for us. As we've talked about kind of consistently, really since Double Defense has come on our show, the New York Rangers are a little bit of a hot mess tailspin. Their captain is left. Rempe's out on suspension. No one's playing to their full potential. Capo Caco is now with the Seattle Kraken. You sign your goaltender, who's probably your best player right now, for till the end of time. There's just a lot of questions, a lot of things. We don't know what's really going on with the New York Rangers at the moment. I don't even know if they know what's going on with themselves. And that is all for this week. We broke down the pipeline and the younger kids when Double Defense came on a couple of weeks ago. So that is all that we have this week. We've got St. Louis, we've got Montreal, and we've got the New York Rangers. Should be a very, very fun week.